Well, today's the 31st day of July, 2017. You've seen in the previous video the drought conditions that have happened down here in Clark County. Like I said, repeat this, that real orange spot right there is right where we're at as we stand. But we're still going to go get prepared for our fall annual food plots. Some people may be skeptical about trying to do that, but if you don't do nothing, nothing's going to happen, and you're going to learn right along with me what we can do, resurrect the dead per se. And that's why I make these videos, so people can understand the trials and tribulations of food plotting. Would it be easier? I just left a big box store. The shelves are loaded with dope-a-deer product. You dump it on the ground, you name it, it's there. And it's going off the shelf. And it's really funny because it's really illegal to hunt over that in Iowa. But yet it's going out in the woods, and the game wardens are at a disadvantage. How are they going to enforce it? It's like the firecracker rule. You know, you can't have a cop on everybody's back porch. But anyhow, enough politicking. We had to do our soil test, and keep in mind, you want to keep testing your soil to see how it's coming along. Now the big field, you can see it's in excellent shape. I mean, all these black lines are all in the high category: high phosphorus, high organic matter, high potassium. Everything is perfect. The number 2 field in the way back, it's down a little bit, so we need to amend it, and they're calling, you know, for 1.25 tons of ag lime plowed in at 6 inches deep. That's real critical. Either till it in or plow it in. How that lime works, it has to touch the soil. One piece of soil has to touch the lime. You know, so the more it's incorporated, the better chances you're going to have for it raising the pH. And we run with the pelletized lime. Now on pelletized lime, if you're at, say, 5.5 and you want, if you want to raise it 5.5 and you want to raise it to 6.5, that means that's 0.1 difference. So with the Pal lime, it takes between 80 and 100 pounds of pelletized lime to raise it 1/10. So you have to raise it 0.1. So you can see that that's going to require around 20 to 25 40-pound bags of pelletized lime to raise that up 0.1. Because for each 80 pounds, and as they say, between 80 and 100, so I'm going to run with the 100 pounds. It takes 100 pounds to raise it 1/10. And so you need 0.1 to raise it from 5.5 to 6.5. So there you go, you're about 25 bags per acre. And what we're going to do is maybe 2 acres. We have 63 bags of pelletized lime that come on a pellet. Now that's pretty expensive, because I could have bought the same amount of ag lime for around $40 or $50. I had to went and got it and picked it up. This way, the way I bought it in the bags was $263 for 63 40-pound bags of lime on a pellet. So you can see the difference. But with that said, the convenience of spreading pelletized lime outweighs the convenience with ag lime, and you know, because you can't spread it with a spinner. You have to have a bigger spreader, or it'll break your normal spreaders. So that's why I go with the pelletized lime. Now we're going to till up this dirt. We're not going to plant. Last year we planted our winter greens on today. We had a lot more moisture in the ground. But what we're going to do, we're going to go and till the dirt, get it opened up, because right now it's so packed down. That's how they come up with this flash flooding. It's not because the ground's saturated with moisture. That's one stage of flash flooding. The water won't. You can only get 5 gallons of water in a 5-gallon bucket. Well, right now our bucket's empty, but it's got the lid on it because the ground is so packed down so hard that it's just like out west. They have a downburst of rain. It cannot soak into the ground because it's like shingles on a roof. It's unpenetratable, so it just runs off, and it runs off fast, and that's what causes flash flooding in a drought. In the spring, when you have flash flooding and you've had continuous rain, it's a different phenomena because the ground is completely saturated. And like I said, if you put 5 gallons in a 5-gallon bucket, you put any more in, it's just running off the bucket. Doesn't do you any good. It's 2 types of flash flooding. But I want to open this ground up, what I call in 47 years of dirt moving work, leave it open face. I want it to absorb as much moisture that I can get. We have an 80% chance of thunderstorms down here on Thursday. So hopefully it'll give the ground a drink, and it'll absorb it'll absorb it in a day. But I would rather get some moisture in the dirt and then plant later. Now, what am I going to plant? I have seven different blends that I'm going to go with. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to plant all 7. The reason I got 7 is I got to watch this drought, monitor it, and see how it continues and where it breaks. Now, if we start to get a lot of moisture, I'll go with the winter greens, the pure attraction. If it doesn't, I got forage oats. I also got just the typical no plow product, and those germinate pretty fast. But you've got to have a lot of tricks in your bag, because and you have to be flexible. A lot of guys say, I'm going to plant this, and this is what I'm going to plant. It would be a bad year to plant turnips or something like that. That turnip takes a lot of moisture to make a turnip and to get the foliage on top. So I won't be going with anything like that. I may go with some winter greens. That's a Baraska lettuce type. It doesn't have to grow the bulb. Therefore, it could still grow pretty good tonnage on top. I don't want something that has to grow a bulb, because that bulb is full of moisture, just like the corn is up there. It takes a lot of moisture to fill those kernels of corn out, and it's not available. So it'd sort of be a waste of time. Anyhow, always keep doing your soil reports. Keep monitoring the health of your soil, just like your doctor does you. When you go in, most of the time he'll take your vitals, and then he'll draw blood, and then from then on he'll know what he's working with and what the prescription to help you with your ailments. Same way with the soil. You got to keep testing it. Just don't be fertilizing it willy-nilly and saying I limed it and blah 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 blah, and I don't have to do it again. It takes time, and in this drought situation, the better the health your soil is, the better your chances of growing a annual food plot are going to be. If your soil's in bad shape, then your tonnage is going to be way down. So it's really critical, especially in a drought situation, to make sure your soil has the right nutrients and can get it into that crop as fast as it can and get that germinated. So without any further ado, I got a lot of work to get doing, but just wanted to give you an update, and we're going to win this battle. So talking at you later.